Hello, this is Shadow and welcome back to another scrap mechanic tutorial video. Today I'll be showing you how to build my cage farmer collection bus. This bus holds up to 6 farmers and can also be used to transport food crates. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like, share, subscribe and also hit the bell icon to be notified of all my future videos. So in this chest I have all the parts required for the build. I will also place a full list of parts required in the description below. So let's start off by grabbing the concrete and some building blocks. So let's place down the lift and build a platform which is 10 wide. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we build out as far as we can, 16 blocks into both directions. This will be the basic frame of the vehicle. So now in each of the corners we start off by building 10 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We'll go out, extend piece to the top, out again. Now let's place some pillars to prevent the farmers from rolling out. So every fourth block you can build a pillar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll make sure that you can get in and out. Farmers won't roll out of it either. I also have a smaller version of this vehicle, which I'll put a link in the top right of the screen now. Okay, so now that we've built one side, let's do the same on the other side. Okay, so that's the basic frame. So now we'll just fill in the top. As well as build the supports in the front to prevent them from rolling out here. And then in the front you can leave a 2 gap, so it just looks nice and symmetrical. Okay, so now we'll go back to the chest and grab some of our bearings, as well as the controller and all the other parts. If you have space in your inventory, you can take all the parts, otherwise you can grab as much as you need. So now let's go here and then we'll cut out a piece here, then put a bearing on the side. Okay, so now let's fill in the gap with some building blocks, as well as close up the back. Okay, so now let's go place the controller in the vehicle. Place the controllers anywhere. I prefer to place them in front here. And let's connect this controller to the back of this bearing. Then make sure the rotation is out, because we want the door to lower. Now we can also place the switch on top of this controller and then connect the switch to the controller. And then to set the bearing to open the door, we'll access the controller by pressing E and setting the second rotation to 105 degrees. Okay, so now let's extend the front of the vehicle so we can place our seat as well as our engine. Take the seat and the electric engine. In this case I'm using an electric engine, but you can also use a gas powered engine. Let's place the seat with the electric engine as well as the battery container or the gas container if you're using a gas powered vehicle. Connect the gas container to the motor and the motor to the seat. Okay, then we can trim off some extra pieces on the side here. Now let's add our wheels. Start off by placing a bearing with a bended pipe piece on it. as well as one facing down. Do the same on the other side. Let's lift up the vehicle. There's another finished pipe piece. And the bearing on top. And the same on the other side. Now the bearings are placed. Let's grab the two wheels and put them on. Now at the back of the vehicle we'll add a pipe piece facing up, as well as a bearing, because we're going to steer with a front and back wheel steering. Now the bearing on top facing out, and same one facing down. Lift up the vehicle, put one facing out, and a bearing on top. Also add the wheel. Now let's do the same on the other side. So in the middle of the vehicle, let's remove one block and then place a piston. On top of the piston we can place a building block, or let's place concrete on it. Concrete will give it some extra weight. Then a bearing on top, and then we'll place a wheel. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now we can place down another switch, and the switch will control the pistons. Connect the switch to both the pistons, and then set each of the pistons to extend max. And we'll do the same on the other side. Now we can connect the switch to the seat. Let's remove the vehicle from the lift. Now if we press the button, you'll see that the wheels will extend out. And now let's go set the speed to as fast as possible. Now see if you toggle the button, it will show you, it will come out fast. This will prevent you from falling over while you drive. Okay, so now let's give the vehicle some frame in the front out of our building blocks. You can also leave a little hole on the side to easily get into the vehicle from the side. And in the corners here we'll add our lights. And we'll also spray them white. As well as set the range to max. This will help us see at night. If you spray them white, it will at least give you a clear view. Okay, so now we can also add the second layer. This layer only holds 3. Okay, so now let's place a bearing at the top. And let's build out 4 blocks. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's place another controller to stabilize the bearing. . Now let's build up 11 blocks. So it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Just placing the bearing. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks out. Connect the bearing to the controller. And build 11 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And at the top of each one, you put a bearing. This will hold, stop it, and also swivel as we lower it down later. Okay, then now we're going to build the top bit. So now let's add the vehicle onto the left. Add some temporary stairs for ourselves to get to the top. Now we'll build out the same width as our vehicle. We'll build a platform in the front here. Then cut out some pieces here. Now let's build the sides out. Extend it with the size of the vehicle. Then we also weld these two pieces together. Now let's build the other side. Same length, same size as the vehicle. Now let's pull some pillars down and just fill in the floor here. When you're building the top bit, just make sure that you don't accidentally build on top of the platform below, because so the top piece stays separate from the vehicle. Let's on the sides build some supports, and we'll also do it every fourth block. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull in all of the blocks. We'll do the same on the other side. We can add some support to the top. Okay, so now let's rather move these controllers down into the vehicle. So we'll grab the controllers and place the level 2 controllers first, then the level 1 controller. Now the level 2 controller will connect to the arms. Make sure the rotation is facing to the right, so let's lower the whole top section down. Then the second controller will connect to the door at the back of the lower section and change the rotation so the door falls out. So now if we drop the vehicle on the left, we place a switch onto each controller, connect the switch to the first controller. Now let's access the first controller, set the rotation to 135 degrees for both of them. Now we toggle the switch to lower the top half down. Now let's go to the backup. Then let's cut out these for the door. Turn a bearing. Pull in the gap. So now let's add some pieces here at the back so that we can roll in farmer. Then we'll connect the bearing to the third controller. And set the rotation 105 degrees. And then let's go check it rotates outwards. So now let's change rotation. Now to slow it down, you'll see it will also lift up the platform a little bit, which means that if you hit the farmer up the ramp, it will roll in to the end. So now let's connect up the switches to the steering. Start off by putting hit the bearing that lowers the first level's door. Put it as number 1. Then to lower the top half, we will add it as number 2, and then to open the back, number 3. Now we get into the vehicle. Press number 3, it will close the door at the back. And number 2 to lift up the top half. And we press number 1 to open the door at the bottom. Okay, so now we can connect up the wheels to the engine. Let's connect each wheel. Then change the rotation. Look up the steering. Change the rotation for the front ones. Now let's see if the steering works. Left, right. Now we'll add the 4th switch, which will control the pistons. And then connect it to the seat as button 4. Now while you're driving, you can press number 4, which will stabilize the vehicle if you're going through a bumpy road. Okay, so now that the vehicle is complete, let's take it for a spin and go collect some farmers. Okay, so now that we've reached the west side of the island, now let's go fetch the farmers. We'll go up this little path here. The farmer should be on the left. Okay, so now we've arrived at the campsite. Now let's see how many farmers there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 farmers. Now let's park our vehicle. Let's press number 2 to lower the top. And then number 3 to open the back, as well as number 1 to open the back of the bottom vehicle. So now let's just take the farmer and put him in the vehicle. Let's get the other one. And let's grab the other 2. So let's hit them closer. You could also bring the vehicle closer, but it's okay just to bring them closer. And then on the last one, we bring him closer and hit him into the vehicle. Now the farmer has been loaded. We get into our vehicle. We press number 1 to close the back of the first side, number 3 to close the back of the top. And then we press number 2 to lift up. And there you go. We've now collected all the farmers with some space spare. So on the way back, if you have any farmers, you can also collect them on the way back and then go deliver them to the trader. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.